So you've got your idea for an app, software, or maybe something completely different. Awesome. You're probably ready to dive in and start building. But hold on a sec. A lot of people have been right where you are now, and many of them made one big mistake, which is why their projects didn't work out. That's why in today's video I'm going to share 5 tips we've learned over more than a decade as a software company. Things you should definitely know before you start building your product. And just a heads up, the 4th tip might sting a bit. Alright, tip number 1. This one might sound like common sense, but we still meet plenty of people who completely ignore it. The first and most important step is this: know your audience. This should be the absolute first thing to do, even before you start sketching out features or writing a single line of code. According to almost every statistic, lack of understanding of this is one of the biggest reasons products fail. And that's not just a tech thing, it's true across the board. So how do you handle this? Well, you can run surveys and interviews with potential users, create landing pages to test interest, or build prototypes and gather feedback through beta testing. What you choose will depend on what you're building, but the takeaway is the same: do your market research. Your product isn't just code and features. If you want it to really stick with people, you've got to connect with your users on a human level. Think of your users as part of your team. They're the ones who will tell you what's working and what needs fixing. Their frustrations, needs, and moments of delight are your best roadmap. They might be brutally honest sometimes, but that's where the biggest lessons come from. Use tools like Google Analytics, Hotjar, or Microsoft Clarity to get a clear picture of what's actually happening on the other side of your app. Watch how people navigate, ask for their feedback, and pay attention to what slows them down or frustrates them. That's how you go from just a working product to something that actually matters to people. Tip 3 is a really common mistake we see all the time, is focusing too much on features and functionality instead of the actual benefits and outcomes for your users. You can have the most beautiful design and the cleanest code, but if your product doesn't help users solve their problems or hit their goals, it's probably going to flop. Focus on your product's values and how they help users overcome their pains and reach their goals. Pay attention to metrics like user satisfaction scores, feature user rates, and customer retention rates. These are the ones that truly matter. Okay, listen up, because this one is really important. One of the hardest things to admit is when your product or idea just isn't viable. It's natural to want to hang on to your original vision and keep pouring resources into a project because we've already put so much into this. But that kind of thinking can lead to even bigger losses and missed opportunities. Be ready to test your assumption, validate your hypothesis, and measure your results. If your product isn't hitting that product market fit, just let it go. It might be hard, especially when all your friends and family have already put a successful person label on you, but that label can cost you a lot of money. It's better to swallow your pride and take the hit now than to face even bigger consequences later. This last tip is closely related to the previous one. Listen closely, because this is really important to understand. No company is perfect. Every business, even us at Rocksoft, will make mistakes. It's just how it is. So instead of letting those mistakes discourage you, treat them as learning opportunities. If you have enough resources, consider pivoting your product or business model. Otherwise, hold off until you find the right timing or market for your product. Take Slack, for example. They started as a gaming company before pivoting to a communication platform, and now they're serving millions around the world. As Henry Ford once said, failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. So yeah, building a startup product isn't easy, but if you do it right, it can be incredibly rewarding. That's all I've got for today. If you found this helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stick around for more content like this. And if you need an advice about building your app or software, reach out. We'd love to help you figure it out. Thanks, and catch you in the next one.